Alright, welcome back. This is War 7. We've matched 1 NG. They are currently 6-0 and they are sitting at first place. My team today is going to be S99, Anti-Venom, and Fury. And I'm going to be starting out on Path 4 in Section 1. I'm going to be splitting Path 6 in Section 2 with Josie. And then I'm going to be taking Mephisto on 54 in S3. So it's only 4 fights for me today. Nice short war. I'm saving my big boosts for probably the next war and quite possibly the next 5 wars of the season, because I have a feeling they're going to be big wars. So this Void fight here, it's the same exact strategy with Fury as you would use against Void on the second node of Path 4 and S1. Just knock him down with heavies. You'll purify any debuffs. You will get the Fury from the node, and that will increase your damage, and then just bleed them out. Normally, I would put deep wounds on for this fight, but I decided to save units along with boosts this war, just because I'm kind of low on units and I really don't want to play arena, so I'm trying to get them in every way imaginable other than playing arena, like the 22-hour events and all that fun stuff. So during this war, it was the hottest day of the year that we've had so far, and my phone screen ended up being pretty sticky as a result, and that's going to end up coming into play here. So this Apocalypse is on Power Snack, and Spidey can't get buffs, so he pretty much ignores the node itself. And I was at home with my kids. My wife was out and about, and I told my daughter that Dad had to go do something real quick and to give him like 5 minutes of quiet. And as soon as I started this fight, she came into my room looking for tape. So while I am doing this fight, I am having a conversation with my daughter, letting her know that I do not know where the tape is and that she should go look for it. So yeah. But my plan for the fight itself is, even though Apocalypse is tactic, Spidey's playstyle is to hit block anyway, and hitting block will remove his flourish, so I wasn't really worried about those. And I want to bait his special one. I can dex his special too, but unless it's one of those things where you absolutely have to go for it, I'm never going to do it in war. I'll do it in content and stuff like that, but in war, I try to avoid it. Same thing with his special one. I really don't like dexing his special one. I can dex the first beam and then parry and then dex, but I mess that up sometimes too, so I just block the first 2, dex the last one, play it nice and safe, and he goes down. And then next up here is Mangog, and after finishing the Apocalypse fight, my daughter found tape, left, started to go work on her crafts, and then she ran out of tape, so she came into the room once again asking me if I knew where more tape was. Which I did not. So I was having a conversation with her about that while doing this fight as well. And I'm actually going to have some trouble with the stickiness of my phone screen in this fight and my next fight. I was noticing that it was kind of changing my timing on things, just because my hands were kind of sweaty and my phone screen was so hot and a little bit sticky. So right there, I was throwing stuff into the air, and that is a result of that. And at this point, realizing the issues that I was having with actually pausing my debuffs, Disorient stopped the pauses there, but all in all, the feel of it right now is, I've noticed it. So I'm trying to work to a special 2 just in case I lose this initial wither as a result of having issues managing my character in the fight. Because the last thing I want to do is let him get to a special 2 and throw an unblockable special 2. Normally this would be a pretty standard, pretty straightforward fight, but as a result of my phone screen, I was finding myself having issues. And then last up here, I have this Mephisto on 54, and this is going to come into play in this one. The stickiness of my phone screen is going to come into play in this fight as well. So I've removed Dex because without Dex on, Soul Imprisonment can't stop me from pausing my debuffs, and then Mephisto decides that he wants to be a very aggressive AI. So he's coming at me, pushing me into the corner, and here I get hit with the special one. And also, when you see him come running in like that and I parry instead of dex, that is a direct result of the way that my phone screen was reacting to my swipes or touches in general. It was giving me a lot of issues this war. So at this point, I am pressing really hard down, and I'm trying to be a little bit more precise in what it is that I'm trying to do. And every time I parry him, when he comes running in at me, that is not what I am trying to do. I am trying to dex and pause my debuff. And the last thing I wanted to do in this fight was lose my wither. That would be a bad time on this node. And it does not help that Fur didn't necessarily believe me that I could take this fight. But I told him that I could, that I've done it before, and he just said to me, don't die. And I'm clearly having issues in this one, so the last thing I wanted to do was die after I told him that it would be a fine fight for a Spidey to take. But he's about to go down here. I'm just waiting out the Aura of Incineration, and down he goes, nice and easy. So we did end up winning this one, 150-1. And I don't know how they finished. I'm assuming they finished at 11 deaths. But good luck to 1NG for the rest of the season. And I have a feeling these last 5 wars to finish the season out are going to be pretty big ones. And they're going to be a lot of fun to be a part of. So that's all she wrote. Thank you very much for watching.